So we're back for book club, chapter 3, Fanatical Prospecting. This chapter is about to cold call or not to cold call. And I can tell you right now, the majority of realtors are like, I do not want to cold call. My designated broker, Jay Atluski, started his career with cold calling, and he loves to tell the story about how, he was willing to do anything. He goes into the office, he talks to his broker, and, the broker's like, if you do everything I tell you to do, you will be successful, and I will mentor you. The minute you don't do what I tell you to do, we're done, because you don't have the commitment level that you should. I always thought that was kind of powerful, especially considering a lot of brokers now are hands off. So he gave him the phone book, pulled the phone out, and he opened it up to the J's. And he said, start cold calling. And so Jay was like, I don't understand, why are we starting with the J's? And the broker told him, because agents don't get that far. Cold callers don't get that far. They give up before they make it through the phone book. So, that's kind of powerful, because it talks about what our attitude is about making those calls, how easily we're defeated, and so we're going to talk about that today based on chapter 3. So, to cold call or not to cold call, that is a question, right? Cold calling versus warm calling. The cold calling is all about, well, really both of them are all about the art of interrupting. So whether or not you're in person, or you're calling them, or you're sending them a text message, reaching out to them directly on social, it's the art of interrupting. When you cut somebody off in a conversation, and you're just cutting them off to say whatever you want, that's not the art of interrupting, that's rude. The art of interrupting is surrounding having a reason to call and being strategic about when and how you reach out to them. So, I had mentioned social media. You're watching this on social media, so clearly you're not afraid to use it. There's a messaging feature. You can call directly through there. A lot of our leads come in and they might not have a phone number, but they have social media. There's no reason you can't reach out to them. If they register with you, they've raised their hand. That's not cold calling. And there's this common misconception that when we are reaching out, to somebody on the phone, they don't want to hear from us. We get in our head. So stop seeking the easy way out. Start interrupting and engage. We have this massive fear of the brush-offs, which is actually in chapter 5. We talk about some of the objection handling. And the brush-offs hurt our feelings. We go, oh, well, they don't want to talk to me. I don't have anything valuable to say to them. They're just going to hang up on me. They're going to call me a doofus, and they're going to say, take me off your list. Considering we don't cold call like we used to, and most of these people that you're calling and reaching out to are people that have reached out to you in some capacity, why wouldn't they want to hear from you? They clearly have some level of interest, even if they're not going to purchase a home right then. Those warm calls are highly unusual, as you know, if you prospect on a regular basis. And that takes us to the online leads. Online leads are a grind. Think outside of the box. You have to diversify the way that you are prospecting. You always have to have a reason to call. And this is where educating yourself based on articles, things that top economists are saying about the industry, things that that are changing within your market. In surprise, things are developing a lot right now. So being involved with the planning and zoning, understanding what major project developments are underway gives you a reason to reach out to them and say, hey, did you know that this is going on? I noticed that you live in this neighborhood. This is going to directly impact how you live. Did you know that? And they'll appreciate the fact that you're giving them a reason to have a conversation with you. Every sales conversation doesn't need to be ring, ring, hello, Mr. Potential Buyer or Seller. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Let me help you get in my car. Let me get in front of you. That's pushy. You got to establish that rapport first. And understanding the importance of what types of calls, what types of reaching out that you can do to help you be successful is crucial. So always have a reason to call. Don't ever ask the questions that are going to give them a response, an easy out of a yes or a no. Yes or no questions should be your worst enemy, because you want to engage them in a conversation. So even if you are, you go to your title company and you've got a new listing, you go to your title company, you give them the address, they do a circle radius around it, and they give you all the phone numbers. Calling them and saying, I have a house listed, are you thinking of selling? That's a cold call that doesn't offer the opportunity to have a conversation. But if you call and say, I've got a new listing in your neighborhood, I thought you might want to know about it since it ultimately will impact your home value. We're going to do an open house this weekend, and that way you can come out and be first to see it. And I can answer any questions that you might have about the market. So we would love to see you there. Would you be interested in coming? So I know I ended that with a yes or no question, but you provided value and you gave them an opportunity to have a conversation with you instead of just an out. So that's all we're going to talk about today for Chapter 3. It's a pretty easy one to cold call, not to cold call. Diversify your leads and how you are interacting with people, because you need to have people that are on different, where they're at in your pipeline. Are they ready immediately? Are they going to be ready down the road? And how do you keep that diversity going so you're not just putting all your eggs in one basket? We're going to talk about that more next week with Chapter 4. So thanks for joining us. Go ahead, add some comments. I'd love to hear from you and start a dialogue about what your thoughts are about cold calling, what successes you have, what scripts you might be willing to share, so that we can all be more successful.